I guess, take a step backwards and think about what an agitated mind or a stress, anxiety, compulsion, all of those types of behaviours. What does breathing look like when you're in those states? It's generally faster, shallower, and over and above the requirements of what you need. Because it's an emergency response when you're in what we call a sympathetic nervous system dominance, where it's hypervigilance. You are in fight or flight mode, where you need to be wary of threat. That can serve you for certain purposes, but when situation normal, that no longer is the optimal way to be breathing. So on the flip side, someone who's calm and relaxed and has got their shit together, for want of a better word, respiration is slower, gentler, generally imperceptible. So when you look at those two states and you see that breath informs the state and the state informs the breath, it's really fascinating to be able to jump into that loop and go, all right, I'll take control of the breath so I can then influence the physiological response in the state and create a more positive feedback loop, rather than staying in that hyper alert, stressed, vigilant, all of the hormonal responses with your cortisol and that feeling of being wired but tired at the same time, and not being able to break that cycle. Learning how to use the breath to switch over to a parasympathetic response can give you a lot of release from that loop.
And we did it at your house a little bit with the cold water immersion.
Oh
yeah, that was hectic. But like what you're saying, what I really liked about that is because you kind of did a one-on-one, and for everybody listening, how cold was that tank? It was
between 0 and 1 degree.
Yeah, it was bloody cold.
Yeah,
it's between -4 and -78.
Yeah, so that's the chest freezer ice plunge, which I've got set up in the garage now.
Right.
Yeah, just have it running for a couple of hours a night and keeps the water temperature right down. So there's a huge stress response when you fully submerge in water like that. The body does not like the shock, and it's an instant gateway into that sympathetic nervous system response. You'll be gasping breaths, heart rate will jack right up, your vision will narrow. So if you think about a relaxed state, chilling out on the savannah, you've got your peripheral vision on, but opposite when you go into stress, it's tunnel vision, which a lot of people get when they get angry or upset. They can't see what they really need to see in those situations. So the cold water is just it's a brilliant opportunity to expose you to a stress.
Yeah.
And then using some of the down regulating or the controlling breathing techniques just to calm that response and to realize that you can exert conscious control on what you think are those automatic responses.
That's brilliant. Yeah, because it's there are differences in the physiological happenings, I guess, when we actually embrace stress as opposed to when we feel like stress is happening to us. And is that kind of what that's trying to achieve? Because you and I did a meditation almost before it.
Yeah.
And we dived into it. And I felt that, like, okay, it was my conscious decision to embrace this fear or stress, for lack of a better way of saying it. And it was difficult. It was fucking cold.
Yeah.
But I had...
It never gets easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But isn't that just a beautiful application for life? The ability to actually embrace the fear, embrace the challenge, and recognizing that that's kind of where the growth lies. Is that getting a bit too kind of...
No, and that comes back to what I was saying about where I see my specialty and where I've always sort of prided myself on my strength is in terms of resilience and dealing with adversity, stressful situations is can be interpreted a number of different ways, but through my work life or very personal life, the trials Beck and I have gone through with IVF and that kind of thing, being able to not get so wound up from that stimulus.
Yep.
To recognise that in between stimulus and response, the more space you can create, the more opportunity you get to choose how you respond, rather than stimulus reaction.
Yep.
And stimulus control, pause, reflect, and then respond. So the ice is just a microcosm of that in the extreme.
Yeah.
I like to think it.